Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to part 3 of the Alfred Wright story. I just want to say thank you really quickly to everybody who has been liking and sharing their thoughts and comments and sharing my videos. We definitely appreciate it over here. Continue to do that as we bring awareness to a case that many of us may have forgotten. So in our last video, we talked about how Alfred Wright's body was discovered like in a bushy type of area, and it was kind of like 5 or 6 miles away from the pasture in which they found his clothes. Okay, so his father identified his body and they went ahead and called the police to get them on scene. Once the police came, they offered to take Alfred's body to the funeral home and, get an autopsy, etc. But Reverend Wright was having none of that. He did not trust Sheriff Maddox, and he had good enough reason not to trust him. I mean, Sheriff Maddox did not take Alfred Wright's case serious from the beginning, and so he just was like, you know what, I don't want to deal with you. I'll wait on the Texas Ranger. And if you're not from Texas, then you don't know this, or you may know this, that the Texas Rangers are basically a step above your local police. They do special investigations. They're not the FBI, but they, have their own thing. Being in Texas, we do it big. We like to do stuff like that. So he wanted to wait for the Texas Ranger. However, once the Texas Ranger arrived, Danny Young, he said, you know what, I don't trust you either. I think you're in cahoots with the sheriff. And he did that because he actually knew Danny from the community. And so he said, you know what, I'd rather wait on another Texas Ranger to come because I don't want to deal with the guilt of not doing my due diligence to make sure justice is served, because I believe my son was killed. So they told them, hey, that's fine, but the Texas Ranger does not get here until the following day. So Reverend Wright said, that's okay. He decided to wait with his son's body overnight, y'all, because that's how firm he was on his opinion that I'm not going to allow anybody to take my son's body until I know that it is in somebody's hands who is objective or who seems to be objective. Stay tuned for part 4 to find out why Reverend Wright was so convinced that the community of Jasper, Texas, and even Sabine County in general was filled with injustice and a lot of racism. See you in part 4.